Hello everyone. We have been already learning about articulators and let's discuss about semi-adjustable articulator in detail now. If you have binged watched this playlist, good to go. I am Dr. Rudy Lalan, author of Prosthodontic Mind Map book, and today we shall be discussing about the semi-adjustable articulator in detail. So now, semi-adjustable is further divided into two types by Bergstrom. So there is a subclassification. Can you tell me, according to Winkler's classification, which category does this fall into? I'll let you know answer if you keep watching. So let's talk about the subclassification now. When I talk about archon, I want you to divide the term into two parts. Archon, R meaning articulator, con meaning condyle. So it is whenever the condylar element is going to be similar to what we have here. Where is the condylar element present for us? Yes, it's in the mandible. So if it's going to be attached to your mandible, it's going to be archon. But the condylar guidance is going to be attached to maxilla. This is exactly going to resemble your temporomandibular joint. So this is the condylar guidance, that is the mechanical analog of glenoid fossa. So when I say condylar guidance is steep or shallow, what do I mean by it? Nothing, but I am talking about the steepness or the angle of glenoid fossa here. Now, what are the advantages of using an archon articulator? First thing, the phase bow transfer can be preserved because it's not reversing, right? It's going to be the same. The occlusal plane is preserved. At the same time, the relationship of the opposite cast is preserved when the opening is closed or opened. So when I talk about the parts of semi-adjustable articulator, we'll be discussing about now H2. If you are going to pursue post-graduation, this is going to be one of the things you're going to invest into. So first thing is the incisal pin extension. I hope you're able to see here, right? It extends till here. It lies on the incisal guidance and it is locked using the lock nut. Now there is something known as upper member that resembles your maxilla and lower member that resembles your mandible. So this was about your maxilla and mandible. Then you have your mounting plate. Because it's going to be mounted, right? You will be able to detach your cast and attach it to your articulator. So it is the mounting plate that comes here. Then there is auditory pin. The auditory pin gets attached to the external auditory meatus, which is the posterior reference point. Apart from that, what you need to know is the condylar guidance. Now, when I talk about condylar guidance, I'm going to be talking about two terms here. It's going to be the lateral condylar guidance and the horizontal condylar guidance. What is meant by lateral condylar guidance? Lateral means nothing but the bayonet angle when it is actually going to move laterally. So what I want you to understand here is the lateral condylar guidance refers to the bayonet angle. What is meant by bayonet angle? Basically, your condyle can move inwards, right? So this movement is bayonet angle. But when I talk about horizontal pathway, so it is how it is going to glide onto your glenoid fossa during the protrusive movement. So this is going to be your protrusive movement that comes into picture. So these were about the parts of your semi-adjustable articulator. I hope now you'll be able to identify the condylar guidance along with the lower member and the upper member, the mounting plates, the dual incisal pin, adjustable incisal tape or orbital indicator and auditory pin. Now, if we discuss this in detail, we have also seen in the previous lecture, right? So, archon means that your condylar element is going to be in the lower member and the guidance in the upper member. This is the guide, right? And it's going to be opposite for your non-archon. So now, non-archon, as we have just discussed about the major difference, it is reverse to that of your temporomandibular joint. You just need to know these three examples, Hana, dentitis and Geisi, because this is very frequently asked for your Viva. So if you know this, you're sorted. So now let's move on to understanding the semi-adjustable articulator. As the definition says, an articulator is a device that allows adjustment to simulate mandibular movement. So if it has to produce mandibular movement, it should accept some kind of records. Now what records would it be? First thing would be your face bow. What is face bow going to help you in? We are going to be discussing in the next lecture. I hope you are binge watching the entire series. If not, you should definitely. Then after face bow, it's going to be the protrusive and the lateral records. And I asked a question, right? Winkler's classification. So now can you tell me? Yes, it is class 3. Talking about the Bennett angle. It is calculated using a formula and it is also known as Hanau's formula. So lateral condylar guidance is equal to horizontal condylar guidance plus 12. So I want you to understand that this is calculated using taking multiple mean values and coming to one value. So now once this is obtained, let's quickly discuss about the features. One thing that is very important here is that adjustable features are present, but it is not that all of them will be present. It might be one or more, but not all. So what can you adjust in your semi-adjustable articulator? It can be condylar angle, your lateral movement of your condyle, correct? So what will this be known as? This will be known as the Bennett angle. Then the incisal and cuspid guidance, the angle of glenoid fossa. So condylar guidance will help you determine the shape of the glenoid fossa and amnesia. Adjustment will vary in degree. It can, okay, so we talk about in degree form. We take condyle into consideration, the glenoid fossa, center of the condyle, and this angle is considered, okay. So this will always be in x degrees. Then adjustable horizontal condylar parts, and there is lateral condylar parts that can be adjusted incisal guide table and at the same time intercondylar distance. There are 3 distances that are present and that can be adjusted depending on the intercondylar distance of the patient. So now one thing that you would have noticed is the end. Do you see? The incisal guide has 2 ends, dual. Dual end, the function is one end can be used for fixed form of incisal guide while other can be used for customization and creating a customized guide table. I hope this was clear to you. Now let's just quickly solve the MCQs and the flashcard. So which of the following statements correctly differentiates an archon articulator from non-archon? I know one thing. Condylar element should be in the lower while guidance should be in the upper. So let's figure out which option says that condylar guidance is attached to lower. That's wrong. So I'm going to eliminate this option. Archon maintain constant relationship between occlusal plane and condylar guidance during opening movement. No, non-archon does not. Archon does. I told the correct statement. Archon articulator alter the angle between occlusal plane and condylar guidance. No, they don't alter the angle. In an archon articulator, the condylar element is attached to lower member. Yes. Condylar guidance to upper member. Yes. Mimicking the anatomical temporomandibular joint relationship. This is perfectly correct. So D will be the correct option. How is Bennett angle calculated? So I know L is equal to H by 8 plus 12, where L stands for your lateral condylar guidance and H stands for your horizontal condylar guidance. I hope you enjoyed learning this. It was easy, but when we talk about Viva point of view, it becomes very important. Do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.